Hey, I'm Zowie, and today I'm going to be doing a follow-up on my Mitsuki Gear Void. Now, this thing has been really fun to use. Like, I honestly really don't have too much negatively to say about this mouse pad, but as always, I will be honest in whatever way I can be about this. So, without further ado, let's get into the review. So here we have Mitsuki Gear Void Koku, or Koku the Void, but I would just say Void because Void sounds cooler. And this thing is so fucking pretty in person. Like on camera, I'm sure it looks great, but just in person, this thing is just chef's kiss. The base is very nice and sticky, and it does have like this is me putting pressure on it. Hardly doesn't move, and the number is pretty well hidden, but like this little number right here, but 343 out of 1500. I mean, I get a bad number, but man, I kind of wish they hid this. And also, there is another thing right here. It's gonna be pretty hard to see, but this is their logo right here. I really wish that this wasn't right here because in the off chance that I ever come down here, just in case if I ever do, I don't want this bothering me. This does have a pretty different feel. So, like, even under my mouse, never mind. But yeah, there's that there. I don't know if anyone ever goes down there, but if you ever do, you have an excuse as to why you whiffed your shot. This is the base, a very nice, pretty deep blue purple color. I love it. And actually a custom base, unlike, name in the middle and shapes around it. Well, I mean, this is that, but like, you know what I mean. Like it's like very boring shapes. This one is very nice and intricate. But yeah, looks wise, this thing is definitely a 10. So with it being so pretty, does it match? Honestly, for me, I believe this mousepad does match, it's 10 or it's about 8, 9, performance wise. Now, this mousepad does have some really nice texture with it being so speedy. This is the number 2 speed mousepad or glass mousepad, by the way. That's at people's homes right now. That isn't unreleased or it's on pre-order. This mousepad is already at people's homes and it has been for the past week or two. And this thing is number 2. Number 1 is Kyomi Ryo, but I believe they're a little bit polar, not polar opposites, but they are pretty different from one another. And this one, like when I first felt it, felt faster than Kyomi Ryo. Its texture isn't as obvious as Kiyomi's or as Ryo's, but that texture is just like it's a good amount of texture that doesn't really help you with stopping, but it just helps you with being aware with where you are. So I guess that does help with stopping, but it's not it's not from like what I've been using with like my other with Kiyomi Ryo. So this thing has just been really nice to use with all that speed. Like if you really want to feel fast and you just want to hit some crazy flicks and you're really in tune with your arm and you're really like you know where you are on your mouse pad, right? Like it's one of those days where you're just doing amazing. This thing will just really amp that feeling of doing great. It's not like the texture is like, too obvious or in your way. Like if you want to move, this thing will let you move. Again, it is one of the fastest mouse pads right now. It's top 2. So, like, if this thing will let you move. The initial starts aren't difficult at all, but it stops can vary, right? For me, this takes about a game or two to actually like really get used to the mouse pad before I want to go for those like before I want to sit down and actually sit and like play ranked, for example. For when I'm playing the finals, I always play a game or two to just like make sure I'm like feeling the mouse pad because if not, I will be over flicking. And again, like its stopping power isn't as great as the other ones that I have. I wouldn't say it challenges me, but it's just like it reminds me of like, just like you're using a speed mouse pad. So remember what you're using. This is what that's telling me. And I actually really like that. So this thing is really fun to use for like a game for like the finals, Apex, Overwatch. Overwatch can vary. I'd say if you're doing like long tracking or just like for example, you're a flick kind of person, but not flicking, but just like if you're flicking with like an automatic gun or a gun that just shoots when you're holding down the button, right? then this thing will definitely be pretty nice to use. Like even for a game like Deadlock, I know those enemies can be pretty far, and sometimes you might struggle a little bit with aiming far, but up close, this thing is really nice. I again, like I said, like just for those kinds of TTK games and just those fighting games like that, or those FPS games like that, it's just really nice to use for those games. So I really love using this for a game like the finals. I just like those fast, nice flicks that I can hit with this mouse pad. And again, like I have to be in tune with like I have to really have sat down already for a little bit just to really be like, okay, cool, I'm hitting a good flick or a good like I'm hitting good clips today. So yeah, there's that, but it's not like this thing will it's not like it takes a while to get used to. Honestly, I'd say the first day you might struggle a bit, but that second day you just play a game or two, you're good for the rest of the day. You just have to kind of repeat that for the following days after. So this thing is really speedy. Like it really tells you, like, hey, I'm a fast mouse pad. Remember that. So, like load into a death match or two or death match, but like a TDM or two before you actually play ranked with this thing. But yeah, this thing is really fun to use. I absolutely love it. And I really honestly don't have anything to nitpick about it other than me just having to get used to it like after a game or two. Like, that does kind of suck. I'm more of the type of person to just brute force my way into ranked. Like if I wake up and I just finished doing my morning routine, I'm gonna just instantly hop into a ranked game. I'm not even gonna care about wanting to play fucking a warm-up deathmatch. Yeah, this thing is really fast and it really does remind you that it's fast. Like you will be struggling at least a little bit when you first get it, but once you get used to it, this thing is really redeeming. Like it lets you move so easily, and when you're like, like when someone's close to you, this thing is really gonna help you like be there because it has that little amount of texture, like that subtle texture feeling that really just like helps you tell you where you are, but it's not like it's helping you stop. So if you whiff, you're gonna whiff this thing. Like if you're not whiffing and you're having a good day today, this thing really does amp that feeling of being like, damn, I'm doing good today. I really don't have much to say about it other than it being a coated mousepad, which does kind of suck. But I mean, come on, guys. Coatings have gotten really great nowadays, and it having a coating means it's very good for skin stick. If you want to play without an arm sleeve, like for me, this thing is pretty good without one. My hand and arm isn't sticking too much. I'm a higher sense user, so I'm gonna be like this more often. But I will say, like, if you're a little bit hot, right, your arm might stick just a little bit. For me, right here, it's where it sticks. But the skin stick isn't too bad. It might be doable if you have like some pretty soft skin. I really don't have anything to nitpick about this mouse pad. I honestly really have enjoyed myself with it. And for me, this thing is top three. This is number three for me. Again, I just don't like how I have to get used to it after a game or two, but once I do, this thing is pretty fun to use. It's just like it being like that. I'm not gonna see myself going to it, gravitating to it. But Kyomi Ryo, I definitely gravitate to that one just because that texture is just really that great and noticeable. Other than that, this is number two speed. And do I recommend this to you guys for its money? I'd honestly say this thing is really nice to use in game. But if you don't want to be inconsistent, I'd say don't buy this. Like, don't use this, right? Unless if you just wanted to try out speed with this little bit of texture that helps you with just telling you where you are, right? Then I guess go for it. But if you play ranked, right, and you want to be like consistent every day, or at least as close as you can be to every day, then I wouldn't really use this. This is more of just have fun, try something out kind of thing. And very pretty. So this is also a collector's piece for me. That's about it today. Pretty short video. I don't really have much to compare this to just because I feel like I don't really need to compare this to anything. If you guys have liked this video, please let me know. And if you have any questions, again, just let me know down in the comments below. Regarding X-ray pad nod, there is going to be a little bit of QC checks more on the CR version, which is the one that I showcased. I know the SP version is very great among my friends. So if you want to get into SP or you want to try CR, the CR version being control, then I'd honestly would suggest that even though its texture died down for me, I think the next batch coming up or out already right now should be pretty good. And you shouldn't run into that issue that I did. So if you use code ZOWIEFPS, on the USA and international shop for X-ray pad. Save yourself 8%. Don't spend too much on it. It does come with really nice extras, but yeah, that's about it. As always, you don't have to spend your money. If you don't want to, don't. Take care, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Bye bye.